Will Russia be immune to Houthi Red Sea attacks? Things are still tight in the Red Sea. There seems to be one exception. But large shipping corporations are steering clear of this route. Since oil prices are skyrocketing and governments are alarmed. In order to clear this question, we should delve into more information. Welcome to my new video. We discuss: will Russia be immune to Houthi Red Sea attacks? Please help me to grow this channel by subscribing, commenting, showing it to your friends, and giving it a like. Now let's dive into this exciting topic. How good is the relationship between Russia and Iran? As of the end of 2023, the relationship between Russia and Iran appears to be strengthening. Here are some key developments. 1. Trade in national currencies. Iran and Russia have agreed to trade using their own currencies instead of the US dollar. This move was finalized in a meeting between their central bank leaders. 2. Strategic alliance. Iran has become Russia's top military backer since mid-2022. Iran has provided Russia with hundreds of drones, artillery, and tank rounds. In exchange, Russia has been offering Iran unprecedented defense cooperation, including on missiles, electronics, and air defense. 3. Nuclear deal discussions. Russia has discussed a possible interim agreement with Iran. That would involve limited sanctions relief in return for reimposing some restrictions on Tehran's nuclear program. What is the relationship between Iran and Houthi rebel? The relationship between Iran and the Houthi rebels in Yemen is complex and multifaceted. Here are some key points. 1. Support and funding. Iran has been providing support and funding to the Houthi movement, which controls northern Yemen. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, and Lebanese Hezbollah have played a critical role in providing weapons, technology, training, and other assistance to the Yemen-based Houthis. 2. Proxy conflict. The Houthi movement is seen as Iran's proxy in regional wars. The Shiite movement has been engaged in a protracted conflict against Yemen's Sunni-majority government. Iran is believed to have supplied weapons to the rebels as part of the Islamic Republic's ongoing proxy conflict against Saudi Arabia. 3. Attacks on Saudi Arabia. Iran and the Houthi movement have conducted a campaign of high-profile attacks against civilian Saudi Arabian and coalition targets in the Gulf. The number of Houthi attacks against predominantly civilian targets in Saudi Arabia doubled over the first 9 months of 2021, compared to the same period in 2020. 4. Global economy impact. The Houthi rebels have successfully disrupted shipping through the Red Sea, which has the potential to seriously disrupt the global economy. This has led to an increase in the cost of global shipping. Russia. According to reports, Russian tankers are continuing to sail the Red Sea. The majority of these ships are carrying crude oil. If you look at their itinerary, you start in the Black Sea, travel through the Mediterranean, cross the Suez Canal, sail through the Red Sea into the Indian Ocean, and end up at the ports of China and India. The question is, though, how Russia is immune when nearly a dozen ships have been attacked in the same area, and many more have rerouted their vessels. First, the severed relations between Iran and Russia. Iran has the approval of the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Thus maybe Iran advised them to stay away from Russian ships. Additionally, there is ideological symmetry. Russia wants Israel to stop the war in Gaza. It also hosted Hamas leaders in October of last year, so it doesn't have a beef with Putin. For these reasons, Russia uses the Shadow Fleet instead of Western ships or tankers, which it can't use because of the sanctions. These old tankers were primarily purchased after 2022, so they're slow and difficult to maintain. But the advantage is that there is no Israeli connection. Russia claims it will only attack 2 types of ships. 1. Those that are going to Israel and those that are connected to Israel. So these shadow tankers may not meet the requirements, which may be why Russia is immune. 2. Finally, it's possible that Russia doesn't have a choice. In 2021, Russia accounted for 30% of southbound oil traffic, or shipments from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. The Suez Canal accounts for 10% of crude oil flows. By 2022, Russia accounted for 74% of this. Therefore, the Red Sea is a crucial route for Russia's oil supplies to China and India. In fact, Russia made up 30% of this. There's just one issue. Commerce is slowing down, which means that India's imports of Russian oil are at an 11-month low. The discounts are disappearing, and the payment process is convoluted. As a result, India is turning elsewhere, like Saudi Arabia. India's imports from Saudi Arabia rose by 4%, while those from Russia fell by 16 to 22%. This is bad news for Russia because 90% of its oil exports go to China and India. If they start to diverge, Russia will lose out. Therefore, it's critical to offer a competitive price, which is impossible to do without the Suez Canal. A ship traveling from Russia to India takes about 27 days. But a ship traveling around Africa takes 44 days, or a 63% increase in shipping time. The same reasoning applies to China. If the price of Russian oil rises, China will search for alternatives. And the obvious candidates are Gulf nations like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Iraq. These nations have ports on the Persian Gulf, which means they don't need the Red Sea to access Asia, leaving Russia with no choice but to rely on the Red Sea to keep the price stable. Advantage. It's a risky gamble, but consider what happened last month. An oil tanker, named the MV Sa Baba and a Gabon flagship, was struck by 2 Houthi missiles while sailing from Russia to India. Do you see the problem here? Not every tanker can be a shadow vessel. And if the Houthi get desperate, all bets are off. And they're already striking at random. Additionally, there's no guarantee that Russian ships will be safe. So in all honesty, this isn't a calculated risk that will yield positive results. The video for today has come to an end. We are grateful that you took the time to view this enlightening video. Remember to subscribe to our channel, so you don't miss any of the most groundbreaking content. If you enjoyed watching this video, showing it to your friends, and giving it a like. Bye and have a nice day.